You are listening to PastThink.com audiobook. Please like and subscribe, thank you. Chapter 24. Grandma Wang devises a plan for Shimenqing. Pan Jinlian poisons her husband. As a result of the beating, the boy Yungo wanted to take revenge on Grandma Wang, and taking his basket of pears he set forth to find Wu the elder. He had not gone far before he saw him coming with his load of cakes. The boy stopped, and when Wu the elder came up to him, he said, "I have not seen you for a long time. But what do you eat to get so fat?" Wu the elder put his load down, and replied, "I am not fat at all. I am always like this." "These last few days," said Yun, "I have been trying to buy some bran, but I could not find a shop that would sell, and people all said that you had some bran at home." "At my home I do not keep either geese or ducks," said Wu the elder, "so what should I want with bran?" 69. You say you have no bran, but you are so round and fat that if you were turned upside down it would not make much difference. If you were dropped into hot water you would not display any temper. "You monkey," said Wu the elder. "You certainly know how to insult people. My wife has no sweetheart, so how could I be a cuckold?" "Your wife may not have a sweetheart, but she has a lover," said the boy. Wu the elder seized hold of him, and demanded proof of his statement. "I only joke with you and yet you seize me like this," said the boy. "But why don't you seize hold of that fellow?" "Good little boy. If you will give me the name of that fellow, I will give you 10 of my cakes." "I do not want your cakes. If you will treat me as a guest by inviting me with 3 cups of wine I will tell you the man's name." "So you want to drink wine? Then come along," said Wu the elder. He then carried up his load of cakes, and went on till he came to a wine shop where he put it down again. He ordered a kettle of wine, and some meat, and using some of his own cakes, he invited the boy to partake of same. "There is enough wine now, but what do you say to our having some more meat?" said the boy. "Good boy," said Wu the elder, "we will arrange that afterwards, but now tell me what you have to say." "There is no need for hurry," said the boy. "Let us eat first, and talk afterwards. You need not be angry by what I say, because I will help you to capture the man." Wu the elder watched the little monkey eat the food, and drink the wine, and when he had finished he again asked him to speak. "Please take your hand and feel the lumps on my head," said Yun. Wu the elder did so, and asked how the boy had got such lumps. "I will now tell you," said the boy Yun. "Today I took this basket of pears and tried to find Shimenqing, and ask him to buy them. I could not find him anywhere, but a man on the street told me that Shimenqing would be at Grandma Wang's tea house with your wife as he goes there every day. I hoped to make a few cash by selling this fruit to Shimenqing, but that pig Grandma Wang would not let me in and beat me many times. So I came to find you and tell you. Now you understand the meaning of those remarks about your having bran at home." "Can things be true like this?" asked Wu the elder. "It is so," said Yun. "Those two are right at it. You had better go to Grandma Wang's tea house, and then you will see for yourself whether it is true or not." "Younger brother," said Wu the elder, "I will tell you something. My wife has been going every day to Grandma Wang's tea house to make some clothes, and when she returns her face has been so red that I suspected something. What you say may be correct. I will now leave this load here, and go to seize the adulterer." Yun said, "You are an old man, and have no knowledge of such things. That old bitch Grandma Wang is very fierce and brave, so how could you stand up to her assaults? Moreover, those 3 will undoubtedly have a secret signal. When they see you they will take your wife and hide her. That man Shimenqing is very strong, and would face even 20 men like you. If you could not seize him, you would only suffer 1 blow from his fist. He is so wealthy and has such influence, that he would take out a summon against you for assault. You could get no one to assist you against such a man, and you would have no chance of winning." "What you say is only too true," said Wu the elder. "But what can I do?" "Well, today I have been beaten by that old bitch, and I want revenge. Now I tell you what to do. When you go back home, do not say anything about this. Tomorrow morning make less cakes and leave your house as usual, and I will be waiting for you at the entrance of a side alley. If I see Shimin-Ching go into that house I will tell you about it. Then you can put down your load and follow me. When I enter the house, Grandma Wang will again hit me and throw my basket on the street, and then you rush in. I will hold that old woman while you rush into the room and cry out. What do you think of that plan? That will do very well, replied Wu the elder. Here is some money for you to buy some rice with. Don't forget to be at the entrance of the alleyway off the Zisher Street very early tomorrow morning and wait there for me. The boy took the money and also a few cakes and then departed. Wu the elder paid the bill at the wine shop, took his load, and went on the way selling cakes as before. Now his wife had always previously abused and thoroughly deceived him. But recently she had begun to realize the error of her ways and had treated him decently. On this day when Wu the elder returned home he put down his load as usual, but never said a word. His wife, however, said, "Husband, do you want some wine?" To which he replied that he had just met some friends with whom he had had several cups of wine. His wife then prepared the evening meal, and they ate together without anything particular being said. The next day after breakfast Wu the elder took only a few cakes. But his wife did not notice this as all her thoughts were about Shimin-Ching. She was waiting for him to go so that she could run across to Shimin-Ching. Wu the elder was soon on Zisher Street, where he saw the boy Yungu on the lookout inside an alley, and asked him for the news. The boy said it was too early. He asked Wu the elder to go around selling cakes, and return shortly when he must stop on the left side of the street. Wu the elder went off at great speed, and was soon back when the boy spoke to him. Now you watch for my basket being thrown out, and then you come speedily and enter the house. The boy Yungu picked up his basket, and entering the door of Grandma Wang's tea house made insulting remarks. You bitch! What did you hit me for yesterday? Grandma Wang was still angry, and when she heard this she jumped up and shouted, You little monkey! I have nothing to do with you, and yet you come to insult me. You are an old pimp, and that is why I insult you, replied the boy. Grandma Wang was very angry, and took hold of him to beat him. Yungu cried out, You are hitting me again, and so saying he threw his basket through the door on the street. He then put his arms round her waist, and thrusting his head against her stomach he pushed her backwards, and she would have fallen down had it not been for the wall at her back. He held her there until he saw Wu the elder rush in with his long gown tucked up. When Grandma Wang saw Wu the elder, she struggled and tried to arrest him, but the boy held her tight against the wall. Grandma Wang shouted out, Wu the elder is here. Upon hearing this Pan Jinlian, who was inside rushed to the door of the room, and fastened it while Shimin-Ching dived under the bed and hid there. Wu the elder pushed against the door, but he could not force it open. He shouted out, What are you doing? His wife was crouching with fear behind the door. But she shouted out, You always said that you could use your fists or a stick, but now that there is a fight you will not use them. Now you see a paper tiger you are scared stiff before it. What was her idea in talking like this? It was simply to summon Shimin-Ching to come out and beat Wu the elder, and then get away. Shimin-Ching understood her idea, and crawling out from under the bed he pulled the door open and shouted out. Do not fight. Wu the elder was just going to hit Shimin-Ching, when the latter kicked him in the breast and he fell to the ground. Seeing Wu the elder on the floor, Shimin-Ching ran out of the house. The boy Yungu, seeing that things had not turned out as he expected, released Grandma Wang. The neighbors knew that Shimin-Ching was an influential man, so how could they be expected to interfere? Grandma Wang went to help Wu the elder to get up, and saw that he was spitting blood, and that his face turned yellow. She told Jinlian to bring a cup of water, and this revived Wu the elder. They lifted him on his feet, and helped him to walk through the back door to his own room, where they put him to bed. The following day Shimin-Ching did not hear anything from Wu the elder, so he hoped that he had died, and went to the house as usual to meet the woman. Wu the elder lay sick for 5 days, and although he called for his wife he got no reply. If he wanted soup or water he could not get it. Yet every day he saw his wife dress herself neatly, and rouge her face before going out, and when she returned her face was always flushed. Wu the elder was often unconscious, but no one came to nurse him. One day he called his wife and said to her, "You are doing bad things, and I have discovered the adulterer. You told your lover to kick me on the breast, and now whether I live or die you go on with your dalliance. Even if I die it will not matter, because I have not enough energy left now to argue with you. But you know the disposition of my brother, and when he returns, whether it is early or late, he will certainly settle this matter for me. But if you would take pity and nurse me, then when he returns I will not say anything about this affair. But if you don't look after me now, then when he returns he will have something to say to you." But although his wife heard all this she did not say a word in reply, but sailed off and discussed it with Shimenqing and Grandma Wang. When Shimenqing heard this news he felt as though his body was in an ice house, and he said, "Horrible. I know that Wu Song killed a tiger on the Jingyang Ridge, and that he is the great hero of Qinghe County. But I have loved you for so long that our hearts are now one, and we cannot change. But what can we do? The situation is awkward." Grandma Wang sneered and said, "We are in the same boat. I am the passenger, but I am not afraid. This is the first time I have seen the man at the helm in such a state." "I am a useless man," said Shimenqing, "and in a situation like this, I cannot arrange anything, so if you have any plan I hope that you will not keep it from us." "Well, do you want to be a couple for your whole life, or for only a short time?" asked Grandma Wang. "What do you mean?" asked Shimenqing. "Well, if you wanted to be a couple for a short time then now is the time for you two to separate," said Grandma Wang, "and when Wu the elder gets better you must apologize to him. Then when Wu Song returns there will be nothing said to him, and after waiting until Wu Song departs on some other business you two can come here again as before. But if you two wish to continue as husband and wife for life without further trouble then I have a plan, but I do not care to mention it now." "Please tell us at once how we can be husband and wife for life," said Shimenqing. "To carry out that plan we should require a very rare thing which however you have at your house," replied Grandma Wang. "Even if you wanted my eyes you could have them," replied Shimenqing. "But what is the thing you want?" "This fellow is very sick," said Grandma Wang, "but when he is much worse we can use my plan. At your house you have some arsenic. You can tell Jinlian to go and buy some medicine for her husband's sickness, and she can mix the arsenic with the medicine and poison him, and then burn his body so that there will be no trace left behind, and when Wu Song returns what can he do? An old saying has this, an elder brother's wife should not talk matters with her brother-in-law. The first marriage must be in accordance with the wish of the parents, but the second marriage is your own affair only. Wu Song can raise no objection. After Wu the elder's death you two can secretly come here, and continue as before for about 6 months or a year, and then after the mourning is over you can be formally married, and be husband and wife for life. Live happily together ever afterwards. Is that a good plan?" "I am afraid that we should be found out," said Shimenqing. "But still. If I don't do it I shall have no rest." "I am glad to hear that," said Grandma Wang. "There is a saying, if the roots are removed the grass will not come up again. But if the grass is only cut, then the next spring it will revive. Sir, you had better go at once and get the arsenic, and in the meanwhile I will instruct this lady how to use it. When this affair is finished you will both be deeply indebted to me." "That will be so without your saying," said Shimenqing. He went for the arsenic, and upon returning with it handed it to Grandma Wang. Grandma Wang looked at Jinlian, saying, "I will teach you how to make the medicine. Wu asked you to nurse him better. Be kinder to him. He will ask you to get him some medicine, and when you give it to him, add this arsenic in it. When he wakes up at night, pour it down the hatch. Once it starts to do its work, it will tear open his guts and he'll scream for sure, so muffle him up with quilts. You must not let anyone hear him. Get a pot of boiling water, and soak a rag. He'll bleed from every orifice and bite his lips. When he dies, remove the quilts, clean up the blood with the rag. Then shove it all in the coffin with him, cremate the lot, and there's not a damned thing anyone can do about it. Fine then, said Jean Lien, though I'm afraid that I might not be able to handle the corpse. That's easy, said Grandma Wang, just knock on the wall and I'll come and help. Make sure you do it carefully, and I'll come back at 5 a.m. to hear all about it, said Xin Minqing, and departed. Grandma Wang prepared the arsenic powder, and gave it to Jean Lien. Upon reaching her home, Jean Lien saw her husband lying on the bed, hardly breathing, and almost lifeless. She went to the side of the bed and pretended to cry. Wu the elder asked her why she came there to cry, and his wife dried her eyes, and said that she had made a mistake in that affair, but she had been deceived. Who could have foreseen that you would have been kicked in that brutal manner, she said. She added that she had found a good medicine, but did not buy it, because she was afraid that he would suspect her. Well, if you now save my life, said Wu the elder, I will forgive you, and when my brother arrives I will not say anything to him. Go at once and buy the medicine, and so save my life. So Jean Lien went to Grandma Wang, who went to buy the medicine for her. Upon returning to the bedroom with the medicine, Jean Lien showed it to her husband and said, the doctor says that you must take this during the night. You will perspire freely, so you must have 2 quilts over your head. That is all right, said Wu the elder. Thanks very much. You had better not go to sleep tonight, but stay up and administer the medicine to me. You can go to sleep, and I will look after you, said Jean Lien. She saw that it was getting dark, so she lit a lamp, and kindled a fire to boil some water. She took a rag, and put it in the water. The night watchman just then sounded the hour of midnight on his drum. She then placed the arsenic in a bowl, and poured some hot water in another bowl. She took these upstairs, and called out, Husband, where is the medicine? Wu the elder replied that the medicine was underneath the mat on which he was lying at the side of his pillow. He asked her to let him have the medicine at once. She raised the mat, took out the medicine, which, together with the bowl of water, she poured into the bowl of arsenic. She then took a silver hairpin, to stir the decoction. She raised Wu the elder with her left arm, and gave him the bowl to drink. He drank some, and then said, Wife, this medicine is not easy to take. It will do you good, so never mind if it has a bad taste, she said. He took 2 mouthfuls, and each time his wife tipped up the bowl so that he should take plenty, and at last the bowl was empty. She then laid him down on the bed, and quickly left him. Her husband gave a retch and said, Wife, that medicine is giving me pain in the stomach. Oh dear. Oh dear. I cannot bear it. At this she took 2 quilts from the foot of the bed, and put them over his head. He called out, I am almost suffocated. His wife replied, that is in accordance with the doctor's orders, as he wished you to perspire freely, and so you would be better more quickly. The next time he attempted to speak she was afraid that he was going to get free, so she sprang on the bed, knelt on his body, and pressed down the quilts with her hands so that he could not move. He gave several gasps, but he was soon suffocated, and lay quite still. She raised the quilts, and looked at him. His teeth were set tight, and blood was flowing from every orifice, and this sight gave her a fright. She jumped off the bed, and running to the partition wall knocked. Grandma Wang, upon hearing the sound, went to the back door of Jean Lien's house, and coughed gently. Jean Lien immediately went downstairs, and opened the door. Is it finished? Asked Grandma Wang. Yes. All is over, replied Jean Lien. But I feel too weak to do anything else. What is the difficulty? I will help you, said Grandma Wang. She thereupon rolled up her sleeves, filled a bucket full of hot water, put a rag in the bucket, and took it upstairs. She took the quilts off the bed and washed the corpse. She made it all clean, and then covered it with ordinary clothes. The 2 women then took the body downstairs and placed it on an old door. They combed the hair, put on a turban, dressed the remains with clothes, socks, and shoes. They put a piece of silk over his face, and placed a clean quilt over the body. They then went upstairs, and cleaned the room. When all had been finished, Grandma Wang returned to her own house. Jean Lian began a very good imitation of crying for her husband. Now generally when a woman weeps for her husband there are three kinds of crying. 1. When there are both tears and voice, that is called sob. 2. When there are tears but no voice, that is called weeping. 3. When there is voice but no tears, that is called crying. This woman was crying but not weeping, and she did it well up till about 4 a.m. It was not quite dawn when Shimenqing arrived to hear what had been done. When Grandma Wang told him that all had been satisfactorily finished, he gave her money to buy a coffin. He asked her to call Jean Lian to discuss matters, and when she arrived she said to Shimenqing, "My husband is now dead, so that I am dependent upon you." "It is hardly necessary to mention that," said Shimenqing. "There is, however, still an important thing," said Grandma Wang. "The chief of this neighborhood is He Jiushu, who is very particular, and I am afraid that if he discovers any loophole he will place difficulties in the way of a burial." "That does not matter," said Shimenqing. "I will talk to him and square him. He will certainly attend to what I say." "Then you had better go at once and get that matter settled," said Grandma Wang. And Shimenqing acted accordingly. When it was daylight, Grandma Wang went and purchased the coffin, and also some incense and paper joss money. She and Jean Lian prepared the sacrificial food for the spirit of the dead, and lit the 7-wicks lamp to be placed underneath the door plank on which the corpse lay. The neighbors came in to offer condolence, and Jean Lian was very busy with her artificial crying. The neighbors wanted to know of what complaint Wu the elder had died, to which Jean Lian replied that he had had severe heart pains which got worse and worse every day, and the doctor had not been able to cure him. Unfortunately, he had died last night about midnight. So saying, she gave a good display of simulated sobbing and crying. The neighbors, however, did not believe that Wu the elder had died a natural death, but dared not ask further questions. So they consoled her, saying, "He is dead, but you are still alive, so don't grieve so much." She thanked them, and they then all withdrew. Grandma Wang, after getting the coffin, went to inform the neighborhood chief, He Jiushu. She bought all the articles necessary for the funeral, and also engaged 2 monks to come that evening to perform the necessary prayers. The neighborhood chief duly engaged 2 corpse burners to cremate the body. He then went himself to visit the house, but when he reached the Zisher Street he met Shimenqing, who asked where he was going. He Jiushu replied that he was going to look the body of Wu the elder, who had died the previous night. Shimenqing said, "I have something to tell you about that." So He Jiushu followed him round a corner to a restaurant where Shimenqing asked him to take the seat of honor, but He Jiushu declined this. They both sat down at last, and Shimenqing called for wine. The waiter brought it with fruit and vegetables. Now He Jiushu could not understand what was at the bottom of this condescension, as previously Shimenqing had never offered him wine. He was therefore suspicious. After they had been drinking wine for about an hour, Shimenqing took out an ingot of 10 taels of silver from his sleeve, and placing it on the table said, "You must not think that this is rather small, because tomorrow there will be some more." He Jiushu expressed his thanks by saluting with both hands, and said, "But I am not aware of having done anything for you, so why do you present me with this silver? But even if you wish me to do something, I do not care to accept this silver." "I hope that you will not treat me in that way," said Shimenqing. "Please take the money, and I will then tell you something." "Please, sir, speak without any reserve and I will listen," said He Jiushu. "The fact is," said Shimenqing, "that they may offer you a gift themselves. When you are inquiring into the death of Wu the elder, it would be much better for you not to go into details, but just cover up the fact without any comment." "Why are you so deeply concerned about such a small affair?" asked He Jiushu. "How can I accept money in such a case?" "If you do not accept the money, I am afraid that you will decline to act as I suggest," said Shimenqing. He Jiushu had ever been afraid of Shimenqing, because he was crafty, and had influence with the officials, so he thought it better to take the money. When they had drunk some more wine, Shimenqing called for the bill, and promised to call again the following day and pay. They both went downstairs, and when at the street door Shimenqing asked He Jiushu not to forget what he had said, and also not to mention this matter to anyone else, and in a few days he would reward him still further. Now Jiushu thought all this was very strange, and he became more suspicious. He thought he was only going to inspect the body, and authorize the burial, and yet this man had given him so much money, so there must be a trick somewhere. When he reached the elder's house he saw the men engaged to cremate the corpse, and asked them of what sickness the elder had died. They replied that the people of the house said that he had died from some disease of the heart. He raised the curtain over the door, and upon entering he was received by Grandma Wang, who said that she had been waiting for him a long time. Jiushu explained that he had been delayed by a little affair, and that was why he was a little late. He saw that Jinlian had already put on the mourning clothes, and was pretending to cry. He said to her, "Please do not grieve so much. Your husband has returned to heaven." Jinlian covered her eyes so that he should not see that there were no tears, and said, "I cannot say all there is to say. I did not expect that this heart trouble would carry him off so quickly. He has left me with all this sorrow and misery." Jiushu looked at her very carefully while she was saying this, and remembered that he had often heard others speak about her, but this was the first time he had seen her. He now understood why Shimanqing had given him the 10 taels of silver. Jiushu then removed the shroud screening the corpse, and took the veil from the face. Upon noticing that the lips were purple, and that blood had issued from the mouth, the face was yellow, and the eyes were dull, the fingernails were dark-colored, he fell down in a swoon with a loud exclamation. Life like the waning moon at dawn, or lamp at midnight without oil. We will now relate what became of Jiushu's life. Footnote 69. Here there is a play on the words Maifu Bran. When a man's wife has committed adultery, people tell him politely that at home he has bran, meaning that he keeps a gander at home as geese are fed on bran. J. H. Jackson.